Hey everybody, here's episode 299. Hopefully you guys are having a great Valentine's Day and you enjoyed the Super Bowl last night. Gonna go over how the panda was created, and I think there's a lot of lessons in that for those of you that are students of creating things in business. So I'll touch on that in a minute. But another thing I was thinking I want to do an upcoming show on, which I've done in the past, is time mastery. Meaning, I've gotten really good at over the years. My day is scheduled, bulleted out. You're not going to find me wasting time. Everything's back to back to back. The one thing that I value the most in life, more than any person, is my time. Because if I'm disciplined with my time, I can spend and invest time how I see fit. Whether that's with the kids, not being distracted on my phone. Point being, guys, you control your destiny. Control your time, block out your time, master your time. Know when you're doing what. Realize that if you are setting goals, you've got to be a master at setting your time if you want to achieve them. I rarely ever pick up the phone if it's an unscheduled call. Devon's an exception. My family. And not even all the time, guys. If I'm in the middle of something, not getting through. Devon's probably the only one, if I see the phone, because my ringer's never on, for that very reason, that I'll drop what I'm doing. If there's a handful, like I could count, there's less than 5 people that'll stop something in the middle to pick up the call because they respect my time, those people, and they know that they're not just calling me to shoot the breeze, which is okay too. You gotta do that. But we'll go into that maybe next week with how to do that in your life. I wanted to talk about how the panda was created. Where did that come from? I've done shows on the history of Newell strength. I think this can be instructional as well, and I think it's good to go about your history. It's good for me to reminisce, good to share it with you guys so people know the backstory. I began fasting in 2014. So I've been studying fasting for 8 years now. And I remember when I first started fasting, I was getting ready for 2 bodybuilding shows. It was the most, and I've heard of fasting prior to that, but as a traditional bodybuilder, not training-wise, my training was always untraditional. I kind of poo-pooed it. Nah, it's garbage. Whatever, going to lose muscle. But that year it clicked, and I implemented it. As soon as it clicked, the inspiration in my head, when I was reading it in one of Lyle McDonald's books, the next day I instituted it. And right away I started noticing the benefits. And at that time I was just doing 2 meals a day. And I did that for the next 5 years. Sometimes I do 1 meal a day, toying around with that. But I was content. I was happy. I was teaching people fasting. Then, April 2019, shortly before baby Emmett Taylor was born, I was up to 250 pounds. So make no mistake, you could see some pictures online probably. Maybe I'll post some with this. My buddies send me stuff. I was pretty jacked. That was, body fat was 15-16%. Not ripped by any means. Not super lean, but I was not fat. So 15-16% at 250 pounds, but I didn't feel right. My shirt collars were getting tight on me. I didn't like the way my neck felt. Like I could feel the pressure. Sorry, you gotta change this. And I knew that I'd been with the type of fasting I was doing long enough at that point. Like I was ready to take it to the next level. So then I started experimenting, rereading some of the old books I read on fasting, researching some guys online with longer form fasting. And I remember being so excited the first day that I jumped into a 48-hour fast. Kind of nervous energy. And I did it. Went into it, drinking the juice concoction, which I got from Cole Robinson. It was really eye-opening. So I started doing the Black Panda. right? I was doing a 48 or 72 every single week. I still do a 48 every week. I'm in the middle of it right now. And slowly, through non-effort, just discipline, non-effort though, because I love to eat and it fit right hand in hand with that, my body started changing. Right, weight came all the way down that first summer, probably like 225. Energy was great. I think I got down to 6% body fat. And again, I was not trying to do that. It was, let me get this weight off me in a way that I know will work. It's dieting, the North American diet doesn't work. Any of the typical North American diets. Done that, been there, done that. And I knew there was a need for our clients and people out there, just people in the community, people worldwide, as a matter of fact, that fasting is a game changer. So I knew there was this need, because in the past, you're trying to work on habits with eating. You could do that. And by the way, if I was going to make one change, if somebody didn't want to fast, to somebody's nutrition plan, again, you got to know how the brain works. Don't start pulling stuff away from people. Have them eat a big bowl of fruit every day. Let's just start with that. But that's an aside. So I knew there was a need. I knew people weren't sticking with diets. I knew people were having trouble with habit formation. You get people 2 habits to work on at once, success rate's about 20%. So real excited about that. And coming into that fall of 2019, I started realizing, man, you got to share this with more people. So the seed was planted. And I began thinking about, what are you going to call it? How are you going to do it? And then in December 2019, we just had our Festivus party. We had gone to another holiday party maybe the night before that. So it was bang, bang, couple busy nights in a row. I remember that Monday, getting up out of my chair and almost dropping over. Be like, man, I don't feel right. Something's off. You know, but no other real symptoms. Well, within a day or two, I'm in the fetal position. I can't stop convulsing. Devon was getting nervous because I've had pneumonia really bad in the past before. She makes me go get checked for that. Turns out it was the flu. Now, I don't know if I ever had the flu before that, but it was bad. I was in rough shape, really rough shape. And Emma, again, was a tiny little baby. So they said, lock yourself in your room. So I do that. Coming out to use the bathroom, stuff like that. Pretty much in there for a couple days, though. And that is when I created the Panda. 12/19/19. I wrote down Panda. I wrote down black and white, simple and gentle, but fierce results, duality, fast or feast. I wrote down the structure of the Panda challenge. I wrote down what was going to be involved with the nutrition, cutting down on protein, more plant-based, reducing insulin inflammation, more salt, different protocols. I created it when I had the flu. I wrote it down on one page, the Panda. And the Panda, so people say, where's the Panda come from? I actually have a tattoo of a panda right here. And Ron Artest, who I was a big fan of when he was playing basketball, always liked his style. Always, that was my similar type of style when I played. Just hustle, defense, be tough. He had the friendly panda, so I bought this hat and this shirt a couple years prior to that, and it just kind of connected with me. It's almost besides, see, I got my Bigfoot shirt on. So that's probably my spirit animal is Bigfoot. But if there's one that's more mainstream, it would probably be the panda. I just liked it, and I started making it my own. I mean, he had his own reason for the panda, but I started saying, researching the panda. Say duality, black and white. It's looked at as gentle, but yet it's fierce. The black and white, to me, vibed with mind map. It's you decide, you make decisions. You don't get caught in the land of the gray. So that's where the Panda name came from. Now, I already had all this knowledge with fasting. and I've told you guys before, I'll tell you again, this knowledge that do a lot of my brain work, breathing, I'm just open to communication from God and from the universe. So I always have these inspirations, and I can tell you, even with training, if you look at the track record of Newell Strength, we're always about 5 years ahead of the curve before the rest of, I'm not talking about the general population, I'm talking about regular fitness people catch up to what we're doing. So I knew this was the right way to go. And I had all the knowledge with how to eat at this point, how to fast, whatnot. So mapped it out. March 2020, I said, okay, I'm going to launch now. What's the next steps? How are you going to launch this thing? How are you going to see if people are interested in doing a challenge with this? So March 2020, I launched it. I'm down in Orlando, Florida, a couple days before the COVID craziness starts. Unbeknownst to us, started and people started applying. I said, okay, people are interested in this. Start getting on the phone with them, tell them about the program. Oh, I'm in. Bam. May of 2020, when we had all the hoopla, when we opened the gym, in spite of the government, had all that going on, I was working on the book. So I was still going in when COVID started. I was going into the gym every day. I was not going to let that mess with my schedule. I didn't buy any of it from day one. That's a whole nother story as well. But in May, many of the mornings when I was in there, I was writing the book. Just stream of consciousness. When I write, it just flows out of me. I don't really outline too much, hardly ever. And I hired somebody to organize it so certain sections were together. But that's how the Panda was created. And that's volume 1. Now, my brain has already been working on energy in the Panda, volume 2, and these things, Panda Challenge 2.0. But when you have an idea, you have to strike. You have to implement it, or it just dies, goes away. Or it's still going to consume your headspace, which is no good, because then you can't do the other stuff you should be doing. So either act on it or bury it, put it away. But don't say you don't have time to create something. 1 page of notes in my little moleskin right here. While I had the flu, December 19th, 2019, is when the Panda was created. And I was delirious because I was so sick. Maybe that helped me, but mapping it out. Hopefully that helps strike some inspiration in some of you that listen to this. Next Panda Challenge is starting March 14th. Panda 2.0 will begin in March as well. Volume 2 of the Panda Diet book will be out this year as well at some point in the summer. And if you want to get an audio and Lost Secrets of Fasting that I did, you go to kylenewell.com/manual. You can get it, and you'll get on that list of mine rather than the gym one. You'll still be on the gym one too if you're on that. But that's what I got for you today, guys. I thought people knowing the history of Panda would be pretty cool. Thanks for all the support. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Drop a question if you got it. Catch you guys later.